Good morning, everyone. How are you today? Hope that you are fine. Today we are going to continue our interesting story, Oliver Twist by Charles Dickens. Okay, are you ready, Primary 6? But before we start, I want all of you to go and get your storybook, then open page 29 for chapter 6. I'm going to give you just 1 second in order to prepare yourself for our journey to the past for Oliver Twist. Now moving to slide number 2, but before we are going to continue our main points for chapter 6, let me tell you or remind you with what happened at the end of chapter 5. Do you remember? Yes, okay, exactly. We have stopped at the point that Oliver get just wounded at the robbery, and then he went to the house that they were about to rob it, and then he just knocked the door, then fainted, and Mrs. Rose Maylie just look after him, and she just let Oliver Twist to go inside the house and spend his night there. And let's see what happened next. Before we start, let me read the main points on slide number 2 first. Toby and Sykes got back to Wagon without Oliver. Nancy felt sad as she knew that Oliver was hurt. The visit of Monks to Wagon. Who was Monks and why did he pay Wagon a lot of money? The stay in Chertsey was very interesting for Oliver. Here are the main points that we are going to go through in this chapter, so are you ready? Let's go. After they left Oliver, Toby and Sykes. Actually, Toby here is a new character that we are going to meet on chapter number 6. He is one of this villain gang, and he's very, very evil one. After they left Oliver, Toby and Sykes went in different directions. So Toby went back to Wagon's house. Where was the boy? Wagon cried. Not cried like this, but cried like shouting with fear, shouting with surprise. Where is the boy? Has Bill got him? No, Toby said. The boy was shot. We had to leave him. Wagon was mad with anger and fear. To get mad, not to be crazy, but to get mad of anger means that you reached the maximum point of anger. Wagon was mad with anger and fear. Was the boy alive or dead? He cried. I don't know, Toby replied. Don't know, you fool. The boy is very valuable to me. The old man screamed. I want to just stop here and ask you, what do you think? Why did Wagon was so angry like this? Let's see. What about us? Toby shouted. We nearly got caught last night. If the police catch us, they will hang us. We didn't want to be hanged because of just a boy. He's a little boy, so we left him. I don't know if he's alive or he is dead. It's none of my business. It's yours. And we were about to get caught by the police, and of course we are not going to sacrifice ourselves for Oliver Twist. Wagon gave another cry of anger, and then he ran out of the house. He hurried very, very quickly along the dirty streets to Sykes' house, and then the anger on the old man's face was really terrible. People turned away from him in fear. He was just running very quickly, and he was pushing away the people, and they were just stopping like this. What happened? Okay, so Bill Sykes wasn't at home. His white dog growled at Wagon, and we said in the last chapter, growl here is the sound of fear or anger of the animals, especially for the dogs. At Wagon, from a corner of the room, Nancy was sitting at the table. She had a glass and a bottle of wine of gin in front of her. Where is Bill, my dear? Wagon asked, and he was a little bit sharp. Have you seen him? The girl shook her head like this and began to cry. I have seen Toby, the old man went on. Poor little Oliver was hurt. Think of that, Nancy. He was hurt. Nancy just stopped like this and said, Oliver hurt? Where is he? Wagon replied softly and with a little bit smile on his face. They left him to die, Nancy. Left him to die. Can you imagine this poor child on the street, on the other side of the road, and he's about to die alone? I hope he is dead. Nancy shrugged and she just stand up and she was a little bit concentrating on Vagan's eyes. Her voice was really expressing how much she really hates this gang. And she said, I hope he is dead. If he is dead, he is free. He has escaped from Belle and from you. I wish I was free too. I hate all of you. Why did I bring him back from Pentonville? I'm the reason that I brought him back from Pentonville, and I'm the only one who's responsible for his death. You are drunk, Vagan said. I don't care about Belle. I don't care about what you said. He will be hanged if he's caught, but I want the boy alive, especially Oliver Twist. And I hope he's dead, the girl repeated with a scream. Now, leave me alone, you old villain man. Vagan didn't answer. He left the girl and hurried home through the dark streets. He was outside his own door, about to open the door, when he just heard a sound. Then he turned to see who's coming. Exactly like you can see in the movies. Someone, he's very tall. He just came out of the shadow. He came nearer and nearer. His voice was too low and too sharp at the same moment. And Vagan was a little bit feeling frightened. So he said, who's there? Is this you, Sykes? Is this you, Belle? But actually, this tall man said with a sharp, low voice, no, it's Monks. The voice replied and repeated. Then he stepped out of a shadow of a dark doorway. His dark eyes were as evil as the Vagan. Where have you been? Monks asked in his hard voice. Working for you, my dear, Vagan answered. Come upstairs. Come with me. We are going to meet together upstairs. He was a little bit confused. He was a little bit worried. Let's see, who's this one? Is anyone here? He asked quickly. Only Toby and the boys, Vagan said, and they are asleep. They are asleep. All of them sleep now. But you can still come with me. Vagan lit a candle and the two men walked up the stairs to the top of the house. Wait, I will leave the candle just outside the door in order to keep the light outside because of the boys, they are sleeping. Monks was the man that you can't got him a trick or something like this, or play a trick on him. So he kept in silence, and then he was thinking, and then of course he noticed that Vagan was a little bit confused and worried, so he didn't say anything. He just entered the room. There were no curtains at the windows in this room. We must be careful. We don't want people in the streets to see us, Vagan commented. Vagan told Monks about the robbery and the house on Chertsey. It was badly planned, Monks said. Please, I want all of you to highlight or to underline the word badly planned. So what does it mean? Badly planned means that not thought about it carefully. If you plan something, so you decide carefully what you are going to do, what are the risks or the dangerous situations that you are going to face, and if you are planning something very well. If you don't, so you're going to be surprised with something that you can't deal with or you can't handle it, exactly like what happened in the robbery. Monk said, I came to you because I wanted the boy to be a thief. I want Oliver Twist, especially Oliver Twist, to be a thief, to be caught by the police. I want him to go to the prison. This was my aim. I am paying you to make him a thief, Monks went on. I don't want him killed. Why did you send him with Sykes to rob that house? He wasn't ready, and you know quite well that he wasn't ready, so why? Why Vagan? This low and sharp voice actually made Vagan more and more worried and nervous. And he said, perhaps he wasn't, but the boy can steal from the people's pockets too. He went with the Dodger to steal handkerchiefs and he was caught. He didn't go to prison. Oliver looks young and honest, and everyone will not believe that he can steal something. It's not my fault. Okay. Monks replied with a little bit sharp accent. Okay, now I wanted the boy alive. Oliver Twist alive. So Vagan said, okay, no problem. I will go and I will get the boy back from Turkey. I'll make him a thief if he hasn't died already. Died. I have told you before, I don't want him dead. I don't want to be blamed for his death. To blame someone, if you are blamed for something, means that the people say that you did something wrong and you were the reason for this wrong or for this mistake that happened. This to blame someone or to be blamed for something. But you, if you are the one who's going to do this verb or to blame someone, that means that you are going to go to someone and say to him that he was the reason for doing something very wrong for you or to cause you a problem. So this is to be blamed and to blame someone as a verb too. What's that? He cried. So a shadow, the shape of a woman. Who is it? What do you think? Who cried with this? Vagan or Monks? Let's see. The old man ran out of the room and picked up the candle. He held the light above his head and looked down the stairs. There's no one here. You are afraid of shadows? You better go now. I'll let you know when I have news of the boy. So, who said, what's that? I saw a shadow, the shape of a woman. Who is it? No, it's not Vagan. Actually, it was Monks. So, please, I want all of you to add this little note beside this code. It's a very important code, by the way. And I want all of you to write Monks. So, Vagan just go outside the room and try to figure out who was there. And he found there's no one. So, he told Monks, are you afraid of a shadow? Okay, you can go now, and if I'm getting any news for the boys, I'm going to tell you back. Some weeks later, Oliver was sitting in his quiet room in the Melis house. Melis, which means the old woman and the young lady, both of them were called Meili or Melis family. So Oliver was sitting with both of them. The air was still and it was very warm. There was a book in the boy's hand. Book? Yes, there was a book. They tried to teach him how to read. They tried to teach him how to get the information or to be an honest and respectable boy. But he wasn't reading it now. He wasn't ready, but he was still learning. He was nearly asleep, hearing noise. Oliver looked up. Two terrible faces. Imagine, very late at night, it was very dark outside your window, and you were about to sleep, and then you noticed something moving behind the window, and then when you look like this, you find the two terrible faces looking at you. It just felt like this, and one of these faces was thin, wrinkled, with red hair and red beard. He knows quite well this face. He knows him very much. The other was the face of, the other face was for someone who knows, but actually the face that grabbed his attention was the face of Vagan. Oliver closed his eyes like this in horror. Of course I'm sleeping. Of course I'm sleeping. This is a nightmare. This is a nightmare. This is not happening to me in reality. And when he opened them again, the two men had gone. At first, Oliver was too terrified to move. He just was shaking of fear in his bed, and he felt like, no, am I dreaming this for real? Am I going back to Vagan's house? And then he just, calm down, Oliver, calm down. It was a dream. Of course, it was a dream. He didn't tell Rose or her aunt, Mrs. Meili, what he had seen. But actually, his face became very white and pale. And we're going to stop at this point, and then we have reached the end of chapter 6. So please move with me to slide number 3 in order to check the new vocab for this chapter. Are you ready? Okay, so slide number 3. Shadow means dark place that light can't reach. A shadow is also dark shape that's made when a person or a thing or a figure is not in front of a light, so you can see the details of this shape, but just shadow. Badly planned, we have mentioned before, not to be thought about carefully. Blamed if you are blamed for something, so people say that you did something very wrong. Okay, so let's move to the oral questions. Are you ready? Here we are going to summarize chapter 6 in these questions, so please keep concentration with me because here are the questions that will make you link the events of chapter 6 together. Number 1, why did Toby and Sykes leave Oliver in Chertsey? How did Nancy feel about shooting Oliver? Describe monks. Describe how, what can I say? How was Nancy dealing with the gang? This is very important point. I want you to add, please. Okay, did Vagan help monks? Why did Ivor like to stay in Chertsey? So please let's move to the question to apply what we have mentioned in chapter number 6 here. Let's read. I came to you because I wanted the boy to be a thief. I want Ivor Twist to be caught by the police. I want him to go to prison. I am paying you to make him a thief, Monks went on. I don't want him killed. Why did you send him with Sykes to rob their house? You know that he wasn't crazy. Question number 1. What did Monks want Oliver to be? What, not why. What? He wanted him to be a thief and he wanted him to be caught by the police and go to the prison. Let's move to slide number 6. Number 2. Why did Vagan send Oliver to the house in Chertsey? Vagan sent him to help Toby and Sykes in the robbery and to be a thief like them, as he couldn't steal the handkerchiefs out of the pockets of the people because he looked very young and honest. Why did Monks paid to pay someone to give him money? Why did Monks paid Vagan? Because he wanted Vagan to make Oliver a thief. And at this point, we have reached the end of chapter 6. Thank you very much. It was a pleasure being with you today, and I really enjoyed my time. Hope that you enjoyed chapter 6 too. I'm going to meet you back again in the next session.